Hello? Hello?
Hello? Hello?
Who's this?
I think I'm in some kind of Bill type of stuff going on right now. I think I'm in the future, but in the past.
Whoa. So you're trying to determine if you're in the future or in the past? Okay, maybe I can help you out. Who's the president where you at right now?
Bill Clinton.
Bill Clinton.
Who's the president? Who's your president?
Oh, our president right now, Donald Trump.
Which one? The guy that played the Home Alone too?
Yeah, the guy that played the Home Alone too, the business mogul. Wait, okay, but let me try to help you out. You said Bill Clinton, that's an 8-year window. What time of year is it where you at?
It's June.
Okay, it's June here too. Okay, so it's hot. Things. Okay. Oh man.
School is out now.
Oh yeah, our school. But man, here's the funny thing. School's been out here since March. Yeah, since March.
March Madness.
Oh wait. It's funny you say March. We didn't have March Madness this year. And you know, right now there's no basketball, no football, no sports. The NBA Finals been canceled for now.
Hold up. But Penny Hardaway playing right now. I'm watching it right now. Penny Hardaway playing.
Oh, so you watching Penny Hardaway and the Orlando Magic right now?
Yes.
Oh man, I wish I could watch that right now. But you know, last time I saw Penny, he was on the sideline for the University of Memphis Tigers as the head coach. So
Okay. Hold on. Get fixed.
yeah.
What do you gotta do with entertainment now?
Oh, what we do for entertainment? Not much. Yeah, man, we can't even go to the movies.
Hold up. So, on this time right now, Friday is out.
Oh, Friday, the classic with Chris Tucker and Ice Cube. And you know this, man.
You know this?
Yeah, that movie, it turned out to be a classic, man, I'm telling you. Man, you really gonna, so wait, I got this figured out, man. You must be in the year 1995. And you must be from Memphis. So, what time am I from? We just call it 2020.
Ooh, shit.
Welcome back to the bestsellers list, and as you can kind of tell, we making fun of the past, going back, and with this classic FUBU jersey, you can definitely tell that we're going back to the 90s, 70s, 1800s, whatever. Because as we go to the movies, we're going to count down this week my top 10 historical films and pieces. You know, you get a time period piece where you go back and you look at an event or a situation. They dressed them up to look like the past. They drive the cars of the past. They had the entertainment of the past, the slang of the past. And so I was thinking, what are the 10 movies that when I go back in the future that I enjoy? And don't think that Back in the Future is going to be on this list. I enjoy the movie, but it's not top 10 worthy. So we're finna jump into this top 10 and have some fun this week going a blast from the past.
To sale.
Okay, coming in at number 10 is not the Terminator, because that's in the future. But as you see, they'll be back. But number 10 this week is Shakespeare in Love. This came out in 1998, and yes, I had to go see it because I was in school at the time, and it was a assignment for our English class by Miss Woody. Hey, Miss Simmons. She's Miss Simmons today. And Miss Joanne Hollenbach. And they made us sit through this movie. It was so boring because we just got finished reading Shakespeare. But I ain't gonna lie, I started to be entertained by it, intrigued by the whole dynamic of this lady sneaking in pretending to be a man so she can be an actor in the Globe Theater and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, I got tweaked by the love story of it. And it got nominated for some Oscars and kind of stuff. So it was a well done movie. So that comes in at number 10, Shakespeare in Love.
To sale.
Okay, coming in at number 9 this week, the movie called Life, starring Martin Lawrence and Eddie Murphy. It was a good comedy, but yeah, it did have a little harsh reality, taking two black men from New York down to the South, and injustice takes place. They get put in prison, but that's where we get to meet all these cast of characters and go through some hijinks and have some fun with things. And we see the two characters actually who hated each other come from opposite ends, become friends. And the ending was bittersweet. It was nice that, spoiler alert, to see them finally get out of jail, but go to a Yankees game, but they're old men and they spend most of their lives in that prison in an unjust way, in an unjust fashion. But I do enjoy the movie Life, and I just have to say this before I wrap up. You want your cornbread? That's number 9, Life.
Just sale.
Okay, coming in at number 8 this week, Rosewood. Yeah, part of this countdown will be very sad because not all history is good. And if you don't learn from the bad things in your past, you're doomed to repeat it in the future. Rosewood tells us a story about a small town in Florida that was black, middle class, and they lived next to a white town that wasn't so affluent. And a confrontation happens off a lie from this lady, a white lady, and they start hunting down black men in the community. And it's just really sad and tragic to see how the dynamics worked out, how they executed justice back then, and how they just tortured any black man in the street. Oh, it almost sounds like I'm talking about today. But as I kid, it's just sad to see how the movie plays out. It does have a somewhat happy ending. They were able to get the children and the women out, and a couple of the men were able to be saved. Ben Raines does an excellent job as this kind of superhero vigilante character. Don Cheadle's in it as well. And when he hides under his mother's dead body to escape the white men who were just in a lynch mob, it tears your heart apart. But Rosewood was a well done movie, entertaining, and I think it's worthwhile for a watch. If you're out there and you want to watch a film, check out Rosewood.
Just sale.
Okay, coming in at number 7 this week, almost like a similar theme. We're sticking with this theme of black and white, going with The Help. Now we go back to the Mississippis around 1960 when a socialite young lady who wants to be a writer, she's working on this piece, and she decided to interview the black women who are the help. They take care of the children, they cook food and things like that. It exposes this dynamic of the South that played out for decades, where black women were the nannies, the maids, the cooks, and they had a big influence on white children coming up. And then they had to go home, and basically what was left over of their spirit, soul, and energy, they gave it to their families. So The Help puts a spotlight on this. And most people remember Minnie's iconic scene with the pot. I always tell people like this: you know she must be a good cook if she can take that ingredient and make it to the point where somebody's eating and think it's delicious, and then she had to let them know what was the key ingredient. Now I think that was pretty funny, but that's memorable from the movie The Help, and that's my number 7.
Just sale.
Okay, I know I got it wrong, but at number 6 is The Three Amigos. Yes, let's get back to the comedy and the lighthearted stuff. Now, you take 3 of the most iconic comedic actors of all time. You take Steve Martin, Martin Short, and my boy Chevy Chase, and you make them cowboys. Not quite. They're actors in Hollywood during this time, and they get fired from their production lot. They get kicked off and everything. But it's this young Mexican girl who thinks they're real heroes, and she needs help in her town from El Guapo. So she hires these dudes. They think they're there to perform and put on a show, but they actually need to fight this bad guy. So once they realize the bullets are real, they had to train themselves up with what they know and save the day. It was pretty entertaining. You're gonna love the hijinks and the jokes, the running themes in there. So it's a must watch. This classic from the mid-'80s, The Three Amigos. And now we're at the midway point of our countdown. And that weird voice that you heard earlier that called from the past is about to come and have a conversation with me about movies and things like that. So let's check it out. Hi, Thomas Sellers Jr. We're back at the midway point of the bestsellers list. As you can see from the shirt, they call him Chad Blunt in the music industry. I call him Kadares because he's my little brother. And the music that you were hearing on all the sports videos from West 10 Media, this is the man behind it. And he was the man behind the voice we just heard that's calling from the Back to the Future type moment. Kadares, Chad, I appreciate you taking a moment with the bestsellers list. And I know you've been watching these and helping from behind the scenes, but this week we got you in front of camera because you can't go to movie theaters and watch movies and stuff like you used to and all that good stuff.
Sad.
Yeah, it is kind of sad. But as you see with this FUBU, what do you think when you see this old FUBU jersey?
I should check you. I should roast you.
But this was at one point.
Yeah, it was. It was a stab back in the 90s.
Yes,
early 2000s.
Yeah, $100.
Yeah.
So now, how do you feel now that you're at an age now where they're making movies, throwback movies, other 90s and the 2000s? How that make you feel?
I feel honored, but at the same time ashamed because, you know.
Where's the shade coming in at?
Because, like, they do a bad job trying to represent the 90s. I lived the 90s. I know the 90s. So, yeah.
You don't like how they do the clothes?
All of it.
Now, you're in the music industry and you're a hip-hop producer. Now, they're not only sampling the Teddy Pendergrass and stuff from the 70s, now they're starting to sample stuff from the 90s. How does that make you feel once you hear stuff that you grew up listening to?
Especially in Memphis, a lot of the Memphis legends are mad. They suing people.
Why is that bad?
Yeah, it's that bad. Yeah.
Well, they're not doing it right, I guess.
Yeah.
So, and you work with artists like Skinny Pimp and MC Mac and all that. Yeah. These are Memphis legends, and you even got a chance to some national exposure and everything. Now, one of those hip hop nights that come up is Will Smith, The Fresh Prince, the movie Bel Air, and all that stuff.
Okay.
Okay, so I used to get that comparison back in the day. How do you feel seeing how things like The Fresh Prince being remade, all that, those shows that you grew up on? How does it make you feel?
They suck.
That's about the simplest way you can put it.
They suck. Yeah, they suck.
Why they suck?
Because they doing a bad job reliving the past.
So, okay, but remember when we were coming up, we were kids, we saw the Brady Bunch remade, and we saw a lot of the classic shows.
This classic,
And they said we did a good job. They gave us kudos. They gave us their blessing. So, how do you feel about when we took on the past, back in the 90s and stuff like that?
We did an awesome job, especially the Brady Bunch. League of Their Own. Great movie.
Okay, yes. You said that's your favorite.
One of my favorite, timepiece movies.
And then I guess, if you saw the countdown early, I touched on things like Rosewood and The Help. But there were movies like Malcolm X, for black people that were very pivotal. How you think that movie was done with Denzel Washington and Spike Lee?
It's pretty good.
You think it was Spike Lee's best production?
Yes.
Okay.
By far.
Okay, but man, I appreciate you taking time to go back in the past and helping us out earlier. And how folks get in touch with your music?
Just go to Chad Blunt on YouTube. Go to Chad Blunt 420 Instagram. Go to Chad Blunt on Facebook. Just go Chad Blunt. Just Google Chad Blunt.
All right, now we're gonna get away from the music, get back to the movies with the rest of the countdown.
Just sale.
Okay, we're back with our countdown. At number 5 this week is Robin Hood Men in Tights. This is a Mel Brooks classic. Carrie Elways does a great job as Robin Hood. A young Dave Chappelle is in this movie. Yes, it's classic Mel Brooks where you get the parody, the jokes, you gotta pay close attention to get some of the humor. And yes, the best scene is when the bad guy, he challenges Robin Hood to a duel, picks up the glove, slaps him. Robin Hood casually picks up his glove, slaps him, just happens to be a big piece of metal, knocks him out. Hilarious. So make sure you check out Robin Hood Men in Tights, and that's number 5.
Just sale.
Now, at number 4, Michael J. Fox has never been confused for a great dramatic actor, but he did an excellent job in 1989's Casualties of War. I don't like war movies, but I love this movie because it didn't focus on a war, it focused on a particular element that happens from war. They took a Filipino girl and they used her and abused her and they raped her. And it was so tragic, Sean Penn and those characters, what they did. Michael J. Fox, he fights for justice for this young lady. And it was just a worthwhile ride to watch that emotional journey and the conflict that he had to go through emotionally. And then number 4 is Casualties of War.
Just sale.
Okay, at number 3, now we are talking about movies that go to the past. Anchorman, The Legend of Ron Burgundy. Okay, it takes place in the 1970s. Hear me out, in San Diego. Keep it classy, San Diego. Will Ferrell, this is his best movie by far. He is hilarious in this movie. And Christina Applegate does a great job. It shows you how chauvinistic and sexist men were back in the day, how we thought we ran everything, and how women had to fight and come over hurdles to make it into society, and it does it in a hilarious way. And yes, when all the news teams get in a fight, classic humor. So I think everybody loves Anchorman, and realize it does take place in the 1970s, and it deserves its rightful place at number 3 on this countdown.
Just sale.
Johnny, I'm just kidding. I had to sit down for Forrest Gump because most of the movie is a guy sit down in the present to take us back into the future. Forrest Gump is one of my favorite movies of all time because I love history. And he takes you through all of history on an amazing journey of his life story, how a retarded guy from Alabama accomplished so many great things and had such a great impact on so many people. That's why it was an Oscar-winning movie, and Tom Hanks is phenomenal in Forrest Gump, and it has to be number 2 on this countdown. Sale. And Coming in at number 1 this week, back and to the left, JFK. I know this movie was 6 hours long, but it's worth every minute of it. Kevin Costner does a great job in this movie, and it depicts what the assassination of our then 35th president, John F. Kennedy. What happened was a conspiracy. All these things are tackled in this movie. A lot of great actors, A-list actors. People took less money just so they could be a part of this project, and it's worth it. Oliver Stone does a great job. It's his typical filming style and everything. So if you haven't seen it, yes, cut out a portion of your life dedicated to watch JFK, my number 1. And that's our going out to the movies at the Malco Theater out here in the Cordova, Germantown, Bartlett area. And we'll catch you next week when we check out the best sports films of all time by bestsellers list. See you next time.